Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And in this video, we're going to look at something Halloweeny and fun. So, it is October, at least when you are seeing this. I'm filming this in February. But this is family friendly. This is Disney's Frankenweenie. So, the entire point of this is you have a little boy by the name of Victor Frankenstein. Of course it is. And he makes horror movies with his dog, Sparky. Sparky is hit by a car. He brings Sparky back to life using the whole, we're using electricity kind of thing because his teacher showed him how. And he's still good. He has to convince the town and everybody else that he's still a good dog. And then the bullies get a hold of the how do you bring dead things back to life, and you get crazy cats and giant worms, and there's a huge chaos thing at the end where they have to destroy, I think it's a giant rabbit. I think that's what it is. It's some sort of giant thing that's grown, and it's like terrorizing things because they brought a bunch of things back to life. So it's very, very interesting, and it's very fun. Now, this is all in black and white, so it's definitely it's an homage to old horror films. It's also done by Tim Burton. This is stop motion animation, and it is Burton, being Burton. Though this does not, however, have Johnny Depp or Helena Bonham Carter in it. The cast is actually still pretty good, though. This came out, it is PG, and it came out in 2012. It's about an hour and a half long, so not too bad. It has Winona Ryder in here. It's the first time she's worked with Burton in a while. It has Catherine O'Hara, both of which, if you remember correctly, were in another Burton, at least a Burton-written film, Beetlejuice. So, and then you have Martin Short. Winona Ryder plays the neighbor, which is Elsa Van Helsing. And then Catherine O'Hara, who also is in, also very well known besides her comedic and her working with John Candy, the Home Alone films. So she's Mrs. Frankenstein. And then Mr. Frankenstein is played by Martin Short. So another, him and Catherine O'Hara work together very well, as they have for a long time. Martin Landau is Mr. Raziki, which is the teacher. And yes, the imaging is actually modeled after him. Young Frankenstein is played by an actor by the name of Charlie Tahan. And then his neighbor, Edgar E. Gore, you can tell, is Atticus Shaffer, who I've never heard of. But you also have another, one of his neighbors who's played by James, I can't pronounce his name, Lau, who I'm familiar with, Asian guy. Let's see, other well-known names in here. You have Christopher Lee plays archival footage of Dracula, which is kind of interesting because, again, he's played Dracula. So, let's see. I don't really recognize a lot of other ones in here. But, again, it has a decently star-studded cast. It's a very fun, I mean, it's an hour and a half long. There's a lot of family dynamics going on here, and the village, it's very much an homage to old horror movies. So, and Burton is weird, but he's decent. This was a fun, I mean, I had to skim through it, because, again, don't have all that much time. I have a 3-year-old. I have other stuff to do. I think I was cleaning up the floor because my toddler makes a mess on a regular basis. Because toddler, so by the time you guys see this, she'll be 4. She's 3.5 now. So she is a nuisance. But she's cute. So, but it's very fun. Definitely a lot of homages to things like Frankenstein and Dracula and the Mummy. And old horror, which is the reason the entire thing is, in fact, in black and white, which is what Burton wanted. Otherwise, apparently, he would leave the project. Because Burton, this is one of, I think, 3 stop-motion animations he's done. I know the second one is The Night Before Christmas, but I can't I can't remember what the other ones was. He's very good. Apparently this is the first film Burton's done since Big Fish that doesn't have Helena Bonham Carter or Johnny Depp or both. But it's a fun movie. It's a fun kids. It's not really all that scary. It's entertaining for the parents, particularly if you're horror families or horror fans. I am not, but I am familiar with these old classics. So the parents will pick up on stuff that the kids don't necessarily will. There's a lot of family dynamics and the acceptance of things that are different. Even though, no, please don't dig up your dog and try to bring it back to life. This is a fictional story. But it's fun. I think it would probably do for the entire family. Again, it's PG. So there's a love story between Frankenweenie and obviously the dog and the poodle next door, who at the end starts to looks like the Bride of Frankenstein. Because it's Frankenweenie. And it's fun. There's a big cast of very fun characters, and it's a good Halloween family film. That's particularly if you have kids who are sensitive, who don't like real scary stuff, because there's not really a whole bunch of scary stuff. I mean, there's a little bit. And also, I think it being in black and white almost makes it slightly scarier, just because it's different, particularly for the younger kids these days. So, for my homeschoolers, it's good look at stop motion animation in black and white. It's a good look at, easy look at Burton. So if you're looking at that, otherwise it's just fun. It's about an hour and a half of fun, quirky stop motion animation, which is really, really hard to do. In black and white, about a boy who brings his dog back to life, and his dog is still nice and not evil. He doesn't abandon him. And then the town bullies and start making things come back to life, and then go desperately asking for help. It's like, I accidentally brought a tomato to life, or a worm, or a plant. It's terrorizing the neighborhood, and we need your help. So it's the fun of the outcast kind of becoming welcomed into the community, and parents dealing with their kids and acceptance kind of thing. Otherwise, it's just a fun it's just a fun family film for Halloween, or any time if you're looking at various iterations of Frankenstein. This is just hilarious. Want to throw something at it? Frankenweenie. I mean, it will, even the older teenagers will find this funny. They'll find it entertaining because it's just fun. So again, it's about an hour and a half long, so it's not too bad. I don't know how the attention span of the real littles. I mean, my 3-year-old doesn't watch television all that much. We don't have cable. We do DVDs. She's just not interested, which is really odd. But yeah, she's just not interested. It depends on the attention span. So again, you know your kids. So great film, very funny. I like Winona Ryder. I like Catherine O'Hare. They're great voices. Of course, I like Steve Martin. Not Steve Martin. Sorry. Martin Short. They work together a lot. So, but a great film. So that's really it for this video. If you like what you see, like and subscribe. I'm covering mostly this year, Halloween film-wise, I'm covering family stuff. I'm covering the Charlie Brown pumpkin special thing, which I haven't watched. And the other two I'm covering is the Addams Family Values, which are kind of favorites of mine. So all family films this October. I'm trying to think what I'm bouncing it off of, which is very, very interesting. What on earth? A lot of Filipino celebrations. That's what I'm doing. It looks like October is also Filipino, and looking at here, Polish American History Month. So that's what that's kind of what I'm bouncing things off of. Also, by the time you're watching this, the book series that I'm covering is a tween book series, Allie Finkel's Guide to something. I don't have one of the books on me, but it's a Meg Cabot series. So that's what's going to be coming after. I've covered the Guardians of Ga'Hoole if you want to check that out. If you're looking for more girly stuff, I covered the Princess Diaries early this year, as well as Tamora Pierce series. I covered covering her first two, The Song of the Lioness and the Immortals Quartet. If I actually have already covered the Circle of Magic, so you can check those out. Some of those were earlier videos. So I've covered most of those. I think the only two that I didn't cover in that entire collection is Melting Stones and Battle Magic, which I may do at some point because I do in fact own them. And otherwise I'm covering not AIDS, did that. I'm covering LGBTQ stuff. I'm covering unicorns. I'm covering vaccines this year were covered. I'm doing musicals, which is the other thing that's, I believe I would have just finished. September was full with children's musical books and actual old musicals, which I have. And then I'm going on to some mysteries. December and November. I periodically just skim here. Covering Sutter House Rules for some reason. Series-wise, I am going back to Catherine Lasky after I finished the Allie Finkel series and finishing up both her wolves and her polar bears. So, and again, I'm covering a whole bunch of musicals. Looks like Annie's here. And some other stuff. It looks like I'm covering old musicals in December, or old mysteries in December. So, why on earth Annie is in there, I don't know. Who knows? But if you like what you see, again, like and subscribe. Check out what I've got. I have a good catalog already, and my videos come out Monday. My books come out Mondays. My film or media stuff comes out Fridays, and then I'll throw in stuff on Wednesdays occasionally about travel or board games when I have time. But again, at the time you're seeing this, I'm going to have a 4-year-old. I currently have a 3-year-old and 4 cats. And I got stuff to do. So I try to get things. This, of course, is the reason I'm filming this in February. By the time you guys watch this, I'll be filming stuff probably halfway through next year in 2024. So like and subscribe, and thank you.